strawberry seeds. And you should neglect your gums.
Are you neglecting my request?
What are you doing?
I think we're neglecting your mother.
Longbottom's been neglecting his earmuffs.
But he neglected to mention that he does not own.
I ought to apologize for neglecting to notify you.
Mr. Rochester neglected to tell me anything about her.
I mustn't neglect the most important men in our ship.
Do what we will. Ignore it. Neglect it. Starve it.
Mental floss.
Yeah, so? I had all those strawberry seeds. And you should neglect your gums.
Sorry. Please continue.
Thank you.
I don't have it yet.
Are you neglecting my request?
No. No,
What are you doing?
I think we're neglecting your mother.
Oh.
Longbottom's been neglecting his earmuffs.
No, ma'am. He's just fainted.
The thing is, Ollendorf signed the deal, but he neglected to mention that he does not own copyright, as I do.
Unbelievable.
So, simply...
I had business with him. I didn't suggest his name. I suppose I ought to apologize for neglecting to notify you. In any case, his widow, Mrs. Polter, testifies you never...
Will you ask her about her parents? Mr. Rochester neglected to tell me anything about her.
Où vivais-tu, Adèle, avant de venir à Thornfield?
But I'm keeping Mr. Brown waiting. I mustn't neglect the most important men in our ship. Excuse me, sir.
And it won't die what's between us. Do what we will. Ignore it. Neglect it. Starve it. It's stronger than both of us together.
Now, sir, I'll be candid. You see, what happened was I got too wrapped up in the business of being governor. And I began to neglect my family. And my wife fell in love with another man.
That. Well, I'd say the explanation was simple enough. I simply neglected to turn it off. I don't think there's any clause in my contract about that, is there?
Here is a man with a beard, and you didn't even pull it. I never saw a more gross neglected duty in my life. General, I've no confidence in you anymore, Colonel. I'm thinking...
I must remember that. How are you? I've neglected you shamefully. What's been going on? Have you noticed anything suspicious? Anything?
There's been a lot of cursing and blasphemy. And I've been neglecting my exams. And there's these 3 girls with the band.
To a world in crisis, the economy was in a state of deep neglect. A great dust bowl had ravaged food supplies, and...
Molly, seems well.
These days, she's far from neglected. But she has good days and not.
Have I been emotionally neglectful?
It's not a productive line of thought.
In respect, sir, I have my own concerns about the lieutenant. Because of his mistakes, I've had to neglect my own operation, redeploy my own men to go look for his missing soldiers.
Yes, by all means, yes.
Oh, that was Omar. We've been neglecting the judge lately. Vita, do you know that it's been weeks since Harvey and I have been up to his office?
I think that you haven't taken anything for that cough because you neglected to lock the medical cabinet and the opium addicts got into the laudanum. And I suspect...
But the coronation should uphold tradition. Surely, do we neglect it already?
Earth's resources may be depleted, but there's one resource we must never neglect. It's the most valuable, and it's the...
Mm-hmm. He neglects his work, Joseph. No.
On the ocean, I'm one girl you can't treat this way. I won't be pushed around and neglected.
What exactly you plan to do about it?
I was never neglectful, I don't think. Never hit you or anything. I'm sorry. I know I've been neglecting you. I neglected to mention it in my letter, but I was a whaler once.
Times we can work all day without fear of discovery.
So, neglect becomes our ally. Excellent.
Since I've been working so intensively with Florence, I've rather neglected my other students. It might be best if we were discreet about these classes.
Wait. Step aside. Say, fella, you neglected me, and I feel very put out. Look, sock it right there, will you? Lay one right in the butt. Sock it.
Sir, I told Mr. Keith. You speak when you're spoken to. Mr. Keith, put this man on the board for insolence and neglect of duty. All right, get another houndsman. Keep that idiot face out of my sight.
Did your way up? Laughing at men's jokes, subservient, neglecting your opportunities, giving up on love, no time for...
The shed around the back. As you can see, the housework has been rather neglected since the servants disappeared almost a week ago.
Parker, you know, I used to think it was benign neglect, but now I see that you're intentionally screwing me.
You mind if we join you? I'm feeling you're being neglected.
Well, I'm expecting somebody.
I seem to have neglected to blank the belt underneath the buckle, sir.
See to it next time.
Yes, sir.
Running a money transmitting business must register with the U.S. government, something you neglected to do, Mr. Rahman. Now, each transfer in excess of $10,000 can be treated as a...
Circus so unskillful to leave that latest which concerns him first, neglecting an attempt of ease and gain to wake and wage a danger from
How could a man as meticulous as you own such a book, yet completely neglect the flowers in his own window box? Irony abounds.
This, after all my care of the men, is surely a result of our drunken surgeon's neglect. O God, by whose mercy the soul of all men rests.
I feel guilty for neglecting you all these years. I am really sorry.
And then there'll be plenty of other things too. Oh, I'll not neglect you.
What else have you heard? They complain of Solomon's neglect of them. There is no reason to be jealous of me as yet.
Apparently he was involved with the victim, but you neglected to mention that to us?
He's on duty when it happened.
President. Yes, I neglected to tell you. The captain's no longer occupying that post.